Shaw Industries is offering Stoneco a deal, Harvey announced as soon as Ava and Aiden arrived downstairs and joined the rest of the family at the breakfast table. Cyrus Shaw has agreed to give us the investment money for Ava's new business venture, but only on one condition, Harvey continued, pausing for dramatic effect. He wants Ava to manage the whole thing. That's why her presence at the meeting this morning is necessary. Ava's eyes lit up. That's such great news, Grandpa. Did you hear that, Mom? Ava looks even more beautiful when she's smiling like this, Aiden thought. If only she knew that I was the one making this deal happen. This is a great opportunity, Sandra exclaimed. You should close the deal quickly before Mr. Shaw changes his mind. Don't worry, he won't, Aiden reassured them, folding his arms over his chest. As if in slow motion, the entire Stone family all turned their heads and glared at him. And how would you know anything about that? Sandra snapped. Aiden shrugged. I work for Cyrus now. I know he wouldn't have agreed to the deal if he didn't think it was a good business decision. Enough of this pointless chit-chat, Harvey interrupted. We need to leave in a few minutes if we're going to make it to the meeting on time. Finish your breakfast, Ava, and meet me outside in the car. Yes, Grandfather, Ava replied, throwing Aiden a dirty look. After Ava and Harvey left for the meeting with Cyrus, Aiden finished his breakfast and got up to go to work. On his way to the front door, he passed a few of the Stone family's maids huddled together. They didn't look at him directly, but he could hear them gossiping about him. Look at that expensive suit he's wearing. I bet his wife bought it for him. How embarrassing, he heard them giggle. I bet we make more money than he does. Aiden felt anger surging through his veins. His hands balled into fists. If those maids knew who I really was, they wouldn't be laughing at me. I'm sick and tired of putting up with this constant humiliation. I should teach them a lesson. He turned around to face them. Then he shook his head and took a deep breath. Get a grip on yourself, Aiden. It's better for you if they don't know that you're the tiger. But when you do come out of hiding, it'll be worth the wait to see the look on their faces. Good morning, ladies. Have a nice day, was all Aiden said. Then he turned on his heel and walked out the door. When Aiden arrived at SafeTech that morning, his phone pinged with a message from Lara. Good morning, Aiden. I'm sending one of my men to pick you up at 1 o'clock. See you soon. Aiden chuckled to himself, then quickly texted back. Okay, see you then. Aiden pocketed his phone and went into focus mode, spending the next 3 hours at his desk reviewing important business documents. His upcoming meeting with Lara loomed large in the back of his mind. At noon, Aiden took a break and walked outside to grab lunch. He stepped into a nearby sandwich shop that offered only counter service. I'll just grab a quick bite. By the time I finish eating, it'll be time to meet Lara. As he was waiting in line for his turn at the register, he heard a woman's familiar voice behind him. You really are moving up in the world, aren't you, Aiden? I remember back in high school when you couldn't afford to eat anything but soda crackers for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Aiden turned around slowly and saw his old classmate Kiki standing behind him with a huge smirk on her face. The customers standing next to her in line giggled. Aiden sighed. Hello, Kiki. Nice to see you. Have a nice day. He turned back toward the counter, hoping Kiki would take the hint and leave him alone. But her failure to get a reaction from him only seemed to make her try harder. What are you doing here? She asked, pushing her way to the front of the line to stand next to him. Are you delivering orders for this restaurant? I work near here, in an office building, Aiden corrected. Kiki looked surprised, even though Aiden already told her that the last time they ran into each other. Oh, who are you here with? No one. I'm here alone, Aiden replied. Don't worry, I'll eat with you. She invited herself to join him, as if she were doing him a favor. Aiden shook his head. That's really not necessary. I insist, Kiki interrupted. We're old friends, after all. After they placed their orders, Kiki followed Aiden to his table and sat down across from him, studying him closely. So, You said you work near here? Aiden nodded and took a bite of his sandwich. What is it that you do again? She continued. I'm just an office worker, Aiden replied nonchalantly with a wave of his hand. No big deal. Kiki arched an eyebrow. If you have such an unimportant job, how did you afford to take us all out the other night? That meal was super expensive. Aiden didn't answer. He took another bite of his sandwich, and when he finished chewing, he looked up at her calmly. What about you? What are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be on a world tour or something? Kiki blushed. I'm taking a break from traveling. Did you run out of money or something? Aiden teased. Even if I did, I'd still be better off than you, Kiki snarled. Aiden popped a potato chip into his mouth and crunched it loudly. I hope you weren't making that whole trip up just to impress everyone the other night. Kiki's eyes flashed with anger. How dare you say that? I can't believe you're insulting me like this after I offered to eat lunch with you. I was only being nice because I felt sorry for you. But now, I can see why no one likes you. Aiden looked at his imaginary watch. I'm actually in a hurry because I'm meeting someone right after lunch, so don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Kiki was shaking with rage as she stood up from the table. This attitude will cost you dearly, Aiden. Very dearly. She picked up her tray and moved to a table on the opposite side of the restaurant to eat. Almost as soon as she was gone, Aiden's phone pinged with another message from Lara. My driver has arrived to pick you up. Meet him outside. Is it 1 o'clock already? Aiden wondered, looking out the window of the restaurant. He could see an expensive black luxury car parked in front of his building. He scarfed down the rest of his sandwich, then hurried out of the sandwich shop. When the driver of the car saw Aiden approaching, he immediately opened the door. Hello, Mr. Gibson. Lara's looking forward to your visit. Please, climb in. As soon as Aiden was situated in the back seat, his eyes fell on Kiki's face, staring at him open-mouthed from the window of the sandwich shop. Aiden groaned as the car pulled away. Great. Just what I need. With gossips like Kiki around, it's not going to be easy keeping my identity a secret. As soon as the driver pulled into the gated driveway of Lara's mansion, it became clear to Aiden how rich she was. The sprawling lawns and gardens made her estate feel like a tropical paradise. At the center of it all stood a stately villa. The driver pulled around the circular driveway and parked in front of the main entrance. I can't believe Lara lives like this. But if she's this rich, that means I'm even richer, Aiden thought. Ready to go inside, Mr. Gibson? The driver asked as he held open the car door. Aiden nodded, and the driver led him inside. They entered an enormous room with high ceilings. Aiden looked around in amazement at the chandeliers, the carpets, the paintings hanging on the walls, the craftsmanship on the pillars. Everything here is exquisite, Aiden thought. Just like Lara. A door at the back of the room opened, and 3 women came out of it. They walked up to Aiden and smiled at him. Welcome, Mr. Gibson. Come with us, said one of the women. Aiden left the driver behind and followed them. After they had been walking for some time, one of the women opened a door and signaled Aiden to go inside. As soon as he walked in, his eyes met Lara's. She was leaning back on the velvet sofa. Leave us, she commanded. The 3 women scurried out of the room, shutting the door behind them. When they were alone, Lara stood up from the couch and picked up 2 glasses of wine from the table. She offered one to Aiden. It's not polite to keep me waiting so long. As she moved in closer to Aiden, he felt the heat rising off of her and caught the scent of her intoxicating perfume. What have I gotten myself into? Aiden wondered, sweat forming on his brow. Lara's charms are going to be impossible to resist. Will Aiden be able to resist Lara now that they are alone together? Who will Kiki tell what Aiden was doing at the restaurant? And what will happen when Ava goes to meet Cyrus? It's not polite to keep a lady waiting so long, Lara said with an inviting smile, moving in closer as she handed Aiden a glass of wine. Aiden could feel the heat rising off of Lara's body. and caught the scent of her intoxicating perfume. I didn't keep you waiting. As soon as your driver picked me up, we came straight here. Aiden's heart was pounding in his chest. Don't you remember? When we were kids, we promised each other that we would be together forever, she teased. You've kept me waiting 18 long years. Aiden chuckled. We did promise each other that, didn't we? But neither of us planned on my father getting killed, or on me growing up in an orphanage, forced to survive without a penny to my name. So I hope you can forgive me for disappearing. Lara moved in even closer, her lips now just inches away from Aiden's. I could forgive you for disappearing for all those years, but I can't forgive you for getting married. To Ava Stone, no less. She suddenly turned on her heel, hypnotizing Aiden with the fluidity of her hips as she walked away. The open back of her dress began at her bare shoulders and descended below her hips in a deep V. Why don't you approve of Ava? Asked Aiden, sipping his wine and admiring the view. Lara threw him an impatient look over her shoulder. You're the tiger. Ava Stone is a sheep. She isn't a good match for you. It's that simple. I'm not sure I can trust your opinion in this matter, Aiden chuckled. I think you might be a little jealous. Lara whirled around to face him, anger now blazing in her dark eyes. If you want to walk around pretending to the rest of the world that you are the useless son-in-law of the Stone family, I can't stop you. But your little plan could easily backfire. You can't expect to lead the Tiger Group if people think you're weak, and that they can get away with treating you like that. That's a good point, Aiden admitted to himself. She's even smarter than I give her credit for. This is all just temporary, he replied. There's a spy in our ranks, and I still don't know who killed my father. When it all comes to light, I'll punish the people who've mistreated me. I'll teach them not to underestimate the tiger. Well, we'll find out soon enough, won't we? Lara replied, her voice laced with skepticism. Maximilian is coming back in a few days. She furrowed her brows and crossed her arms over her chest. Just tell me the truth about one thing. Are you in love with Ava? Aiden sipped his wine as he thought carefully about what to say. The word love disappeared from my life a long time ago, he finally replied. All that matters to me now is getting revenge on the person who killed my father and rebuilding the empire that was stolen from me. I don't have time for love. Emotion filled Lara's eyes as she listened to Aiden's words, their gazes locked together. For a minute, neither one of them said anything. Finally, Lara took a deep breath and broke the silence. Love cannot disappear from anyone's life, Aiden. You can try to run from it, but it will always catch you in the end. Aiden drained the wine out of his glass, then set it down and started walking toward the door. Whether I love anyone or not doesn't matter. Ava and I are married, and as long as that's true, I have to take care of her and have a responsibility to remain faithful. I should go, before we do something we both regret. Aiden, wait. Lara reached out for his arm, but Aiden was already too far away. When he reached the door, he turned back around. I don't think we should meet like this anymore. It's too dangerous. Tears filled Lara's eyes as she watched him go. It was quite late when Aiden got home, so he tiptoed upstairs and went directly to Ava's room. He could hear her voice through the door. She was laughing and talking to someone on the phone. Yes, the contract has been finalized. They're waiting until my birthday to make the announcement. Aiden was thrilled to hear the good news, and that his plan to put Ava back in her grandfather's good graces was working out just like he had hoped. He knocked on the door. He heard footsteps approaching, and a few seconds later, Ava cracked the door open. I have to go, Charlotte. Aiden just got here. Talk to you soon, she said as she hung up the phone. What do you want? She said to Aiden. She didn't invite him in, but she left the door open and walked back over to her bed, which Aiden took as his cue to enter. How did it go today at the meeting? He sat down next to Ava on the bed, half expecting her to kick him off, but she didn't say anything. We signed the contract, and Grandfather seems pretty happy with me, so I think things are better between us now. That's great, Ava. Congrats. Glad I was able to help, he teased. I don't want to hear any more lies about you helping me with this. We both know you didn't have anything to do with it, Ava insisted, folding her arms across her chest. Aiden shrugged. If you say so. I know so. Despite her words, Aiden sensed uncertainty in her voice. Where have you been all day? She asked. Aiden hesitated, unsure of how much to share about his rendezvous with Lara. I had to work late, he finally replied. Ava scoffed. Did you eat dinner at least? Aiden shook his head. No, actually. Now that you mention it, I'm starving. In the place where his stomach was, he felt a hollow pit. Ava rolled her eyes. Stay here. I'll have the maids make you something to eat. As she went downstairs in search of the maids, Aiden smiled to himself. Ava's words are still harsh, but there's a tenderness in her actions that I've never noticed before. I think she's finally warming up to me. When Aiden arrived in the dining room the next morning, he was surprised to see Shane sitting in the chair that Ava usually sat in, with a mischievous grin on his face. Hey, look who finally woke up. Good morning, brother-in-law. Good morning, everyone. I didn't expect to see you here, Shane, Aiden said calmly as he sat down. Shane stopped buttering his toast and waved his butter knife around menacingly. This is my family's house, so I can come and go as I please. And I can sit wherever I want to. He made a point of saying this to Ava. Ava rolled her eyes. You're such a... Ava, watch your language at the table, Robert scolded. Sorry, Dad. Where'd you get that suit? Shane asked Aiden, looking him up and down. Did my sister buy it for you? I don't need to buy him a suit, Ava snapped. Aiden has been working hard and can afford to buy his own clothes. Is that right? How much are delivery boys making these days? Shane teased. Don't answer that, Ava said, standing up from the table abruptly. Please excuse us, everyone. It's an important day today, and we don't want to be late for work. Let's go, Aiden. We can ride together. For a moment, Aiden was stunned by Ava's invitation, but he quickly took her cue and followed her out to her car. Thanks for sticking up for me back there, Aiden said as they drove away from the mansion in Ava's car. There's no need to thank me. I just needed an excuse to get us out of there. Ava kept her hands on the steering wheel and her eyes fixed on the road as she replied. Whatever you say, Aiden chuckled. You know, if we ride into work together, I'll need a ride home this evening, too. Ava sighed. Fine. I'll pick you up at 5. Aiden arched his brows in surprise. I think she's really starting to like me. And she doesn't even know that I'm the tiger, Aiden realized in amazement. As they got close to Aiden's office, traffic ground to a halt. What's going on here? Aiden wondered out loud. It seemed that everyone had stopped to stare at a tall man getting out of a limo in front of Club Cain. Don't you know who that is? Ava asked. Aiden took another look at the tall man wearing glasses and an expensive suit, puffing on a thick cigar while his lackeys scurried around him, opening doors for him and keeping the crowd at bay. Aiden shook his head. No idea. That's Dominic Grayson, Ava explained. He's one of the richest and most powerful gangsters in Chicago. Aiden's eyes widened in surprise. That's Dominic Grayson? Stop the car. I'm getting out here. Ava hit the brakes, and the car screeched to a halt. Aiden, where are you going? Without another word, Aiden jumped out of the car and followed Dominic Grayson into Club Cain. I'm going to find out what Dominic is up to, or I'm going to die trying, he told himself. What will happen now that the Tiger and Dominic have finally crossed paths? Will Aiden make it out of Club Cain alive? Or has he just walked into a deadly trap?
Wait, that's not the end. You've just had a free taste. Now get the full story on the Pocket FM app, link in description. Check out our next video and playlist, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.